Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Wicked Bitter channel. I'm Travis. Thank you for checking out this video. If you are somebody who is new to this channel and you love WWE, you love pro wrestling, subscribe to this channel. Hit the button, hit like, hit subscribe. This is the channel for you. Believe me, trust me. We make videos every single week. We cover Raw, we cover SmackDown, sometimes NXT, but always definitely the PLEs, and then we do videos that I love. The email videos. You send in your emails, I make videos, and I answer them here. I record them. I answer you. What other channel does this? What other channel likes to talk to you? This is not one of those channels that just posts things and then never gets back to the people who comment on it. No. At Wicked Bitter, we do things differently. You comment, I respond. You email, I read them. That's just what we do here. Oh, my friends. Monday Night Raw has come and gone. And you know we're going to talk about it. You know why I'm doing this and acting this way. You know why. The main event. We're going to get to it. But I have to do what's right. We got to talk about everything that happened on the show. We can't just focus on one thing, even though it's something that kind of upset me a little bit. It's fine. We'll get there. We'll talk about it. Let's talk about what happened on Monday Night Raw. Raw kicks off with all the superstars showing up to the show like they normally show us, and then the cool thing was Dominic and Liv I was going to call it Liv Mysterio. Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio show up in a lowrider. I thought that was pretty cool. They get out of the car, they start heading towards into the arena, and out of nowhere, like Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed go flying across the screen into some merch stand. They're still at it. These two are still brawling. Liv and Dom, never mind that. They come on out to the ring, and then they cut a promo. I'm going to paraphrase everything that kind of happened here. It was pretty much Liv that cut the promo. Liv basically said that she promised. She said that she was going to take everything from Rhea. The title, the Judgment Day, Dominic, and she did exactly that. Rhea Ripley ends up coming out, cuts a promo on them, pretty much gets in the ring, goes face-to-face with Liv and Dom. She tells Liv and Dom that she's got some news for them. And the news is that at Bad Blood, Dominic Mysterio will be hanging from above the ring in a shark cage. I thought that was pretty cool. A nice little element. I think we've seen this once or twice. I want to say it was NXT, and I can't remember the other time. But this has happened before. It's a cool idea. It's a cool concept. But with this happening, it kind of makes me think that Liv might have a chance of winning here. As weird as that sounds. Yes, I know Dom will be above the ring hanging there, but that also opens the door to some shenanigans, and I feel like that's what we might get. Maybe. I'm just being a little hopeful because I do think that Liv should hold on to the title a little longer, but odds are Rhea is probably going to win this thing. She ends up headbutting Liv, and then Rhea leaves, and that's the opening segment from Monday Night Raw. We get Kaiser versus Sami Zayn. Man, you got to give it up for them. Unbelievable. Like, they had such a great match. And Kaiser, underrated. How we glaze some people here on the show, a couple of guys? We're going to have to sneaky pick Kaiser as someone to watch. We're not going to glaze him just yet. I don't want to just be handing this out. We glaze Braun Breaker, and we're on the brink of glazing Jacob Fatu. If not, we're already there. We might have to officially announce it in another video, maybe a SmackDown video. But we got Breaker. Fatu was right there. I don't want to put the same thing on Kaiser, but we're going to have to keep an eye on Kaiser because this man can go. And I can't wait for him to have a solo career and see all the titles he racks up. I think he's going to be a star. But they have a great match. Sami Zayn ends up winning. Gunther comes out, and he's in his ring gear. I'm like, what's happening here? He gets on the mic. He tells Sami, hey, you know what? If you really want this match, what better place to do it than right here? And he basically teases a World Heavyweight Championship match, and then he just tells Sami Zayn, no. And then he just walks away. The ultimate troll job. Gunther every single week. I'm liking him more and more. I really do. I know some people call him boring. I think he's hilarious. I think he's just got that kind of like dry kind of humor that I find hilarious. That's just my kind of humor. But Gunther is awesome. This match is going to happen. I just don't know when. Will it happen at Bad Blood or will it happen after? I don't know. They're kind of taking a while teasing this until the very end, so we'll see when they actually announce this match. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods backstage, they kind of come, Woods is sitting there. Kingston comes up to them. They kind of try to smooth things over a little bit. And then Kingston tells Woods, hey, you know what? you want to get back to the way things feel, like the way New Day used to be. I found these bootios, the trombone, our 10-year anniversary is coming up. And it's just the way Kofi is talking to Woods. I don't know. I still think, despite everything that happened later on in the show, I still think Kofi Kingston is going to be the one that turns on Xavier Woods. I just have a feeling. The way Kofi is so... I don't know. It's like he's being a good guy, but he's being overly too nice. And it's like he's like almost like some of the things he says is kind of like a backhanded like compliment or a backhanded like good thing to Woods. And I don't think a lot of people are catching it on because Kingston is kind of saying it in like a very like nice and smiley type of tone. But I got a feeling it's going to be Kofi. Not only do I have a feeling it's going to be Kofi, I'd rather it be Kofi than Woods that turns on one another. I'd rather it be Kofi. I want Kofi as the heel. I want Woods as the good guy. I know Woods got aggressive later on in the show a few times. I still think that's all just to set up to make us think it's going to be Woods. I'm saying Kofi Kingston. I'm sticking with it. Woods and Kofi still talking. American Made come up. And they start talking trash to the New Day. And I don't know which one it is. It might be, is it Julius? Or is it, I think it's Brutus. Brutus Creed is the one that has the ridiculous laugh, I think. And I think it's funny, but man, is that going to get annoying after a while? Anyway, Woods challenges them to a match. One thing I should point out, Kofi did mention that he's going to, in the next few weeks, he just says, you know what? You make all the shots. You call all the shots, Woods. Kofi said that to Xavier, and now one of the first shots Xavier is going to call is a tag team match against American Made. So we get that. I think it was pretty funny at the very end. The guy with the big tray of pancakes shows up while Xavier was not looking, and Kofi kind of just like waved him off. He's like, get out of here. I thought that was kind of a fun little element, but I love what they're doing with the New Day, man. I want to see something happen here. I want to see a turn. I don't want this all to be for nothing. I don't want them to make up in the end. I don't want them to hug at the end. No. I want to see a turn. If we're not bringing Big E back, if he's not allowed to wrestle, let's just split up the New Day and give both of them something to do. Something I guess I should mention is now for the second week in a row, the Judgment Day comes across Dragunov backstage. JD McDonough is the one that gets in his face, tells him, hey, you know what, last week your Lucky Finn was here. He's the reason why he stopped me from doing anything. And Dragunov called him out and be like, well, he's not here tonight, and what are you going to do now? Nothing. I thought so. And basically, JD said that he's got to handle some Judgment Day business. Carlito's got a match against Dragon Lee, so he's lucky that he can't do anything about it right now, but he'll see him around. And they're teasing this. I like it. For some reason, I feel like Dragunov would look cool in Judgment Day. That might be a weird take, but I don't want it to happen. But if it did, it'd be interesting. What I do want to see is Dragunov versus basically every single member of the Judgment Day. Give me Dragunov versus JD. Give me Dragunov versus Finn. I'll even take Carlito and Dominic at some point, but I have to see Dragunov versus Finn Balor at some point, or I'll scream if I don't see it. And after that, Dragon Lee goes one-on-one with Carlito. Dragon Lee beats Carlito, gets a little help from Rey Mysterio. That's that. This match was fine. It was good. I liked it. Nothing crazy, nothing, insane to write home about, but that's just what we get here. LWO. For some reason, I kind of don't want Ray with LWO. I want him to do something else. I never really liked Ray in like a big faction like this. I feel like he just gets lost in the shuffle. I know he's older now, and it's not like spotlight's going to be on him or anything like that, but I don't know. It was cool. It was fine. I also don't always want to see Ray and Dominic head to head or, butt heads or whatever. I don't want to see it all the time. I feel like we're seeing a lot more often lately. Cool little segment backstage, actually. Karrion Kross comes up to the Miz, tells Miz, hey, I feel like it's really messed up that nobody respects you the way they should. Miz agrees, and then Miz says, what do you want? What are you getting at? What is it? And Karrion Kross says, I just want you to be the Miz that I remember you being. I want to see the Miz that goes out there and wins by any means necessary, doesn't care what anybody else thinks. And then he tells Miz that, I want you to be the monster. I want you, monsters come in all different shapes and sizes. And Miz says, yeah, they do. And he walked away. And I like this. Karrion Kross has that little devious smile as we go to commercial. But I don't know. I like this. Give me a despicable heel, top level heel Miz. Let me get that again. I miss that kind of Miz. Miz is at his best is when he's a heel. And when he's a heel and he's cutting these great promos and he's coming out in a suit, Normally, better, even better when he has a title over his shoulder. I think Miz can do amazing. Maybe we eventually. I'm not throwing anything away. I'm going to give a little bit away. Maybe we get Miz versus Jey Uso down the line here for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm just saying. I think that would do great. Heel promo for Miz, babyface Jey. We got some magic there. Miz comes out for his match. It's supposed to be against Bronson Reed, and as Bronson Reed's coming out, there's Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman attacks him, and then Miz gets aggravated. He gets out of the ring. He gets into Strowman's face. And then the brawl just keeps continuing. Bronson Reed dives and hits a suicide dive on both of them. And then Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman continue to brawl. Miz kind of just goes away. Multiple times security tries to come out. Both men try to clear, they clear them out. They beat the security up. I mean, even a tsunami splash on top of a couple of the guys. They're getting thrown around. They're getting punched. I mean, it's just a big mess. Adam Pearce has no control over this roster, whatsoever. It's always absolute chaos on Monday Night Raw, and Adam Pearce is running around, ripping his glasses off his face, frustrated, just yelling at people, telling security to do this. I mean, this guy has no control whatsoever, but there was a big brawl again. Braun Strowman tried to superplex Bronson Reed off the top, and then that's when security finally did break everybody up, and that's pretty much how that segment ends. We're going to find out later on that Adam Pearce announces that there's going to be a last monster standing match next week between Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. I'm telling you right now, that ring is going to break next week. The Superplex, whatever they decide to do, they're breaking that ring. They're going to do that spot. I have a big feeling that's going to happen. We get a pretty cool promo here with Drew McIntyre. Very similar to CM Punk's last week. His demeanor, everything. He was very... not as sarcastic with the crowd. It's like he didn't really even play with the crowd this week. He was very straight to the point, just like Punk was last week. The way the inflection in their tone, everything was the same. Drew delivered his promo this week the same way Punk did, and Drew pretty much repeated a lot of the things that Punk said. I could just see the vignette they're going to play later on for the hype video. They're going to take clips of both and paste them one after another. Drew says that he doesn't even want to be in this Hell in the Cell match either. His family has begged him not to. His wife has begged him not to, just like Punk's has. And, Drew says he's got some promises for CM Punk himself. He says that he's going to make CM Punk bleed a lot and that, he's going to permanently break CM Punk. And that's pretty much the gist of that promo. It was straightforward, to the point. It was perfectly done, just the same way as CM Punk did his. Great. I loved it. This had everything you needed it to be. I mean, what else is there really to be left to be said for this feud? This is perfect. What Punk did last week and what Drew did this week worked amazingly. Perfect. Got a little backstage segment here before Io and Kairi go out for their match against Unholy Union. Bianca and Jade come up to them, and for some reason, I don't know if you guys caught this too, but Jade and Bianca kind of giving off a little bit some heelish vibes here. Bianca came up very like rude and sarcastic, and I'm just like, she's not really normally like that unless she's provoked, and she kind of really wasn't. Io did mention that next time they are going for those tag team titles, and that's when Bianca kind of got defensive, and I don't know, it was cool, but it just felt weird. It's almost like Damage Control is the baby faces and Jade and Bianca are the heels in this. It just felt that way because Jade had her attitude too. I don't know, I like it. Don't get me wrong, it's cool, but it was a very quick transition. I mean, maybe they're not classified officially as the heels, but I mean, if you watch this without knowing anything, it definitely came off that way. By the way, WWE showed a small little vignette thing of a fiery looking symbol type thing. I don't know what you guys think it might be. There's obviously some rumors been going around the past few days that maybe it's the Lucha Bros. If it's the Lucha Bros, I'm going to lose my mind. I would love them in WWE. Please, I hope that's an actual real rumor fact that's happened. I hope it's not just rumor. It's that, or maybe it's even, I was thinking maybe even the Viking Raiders. Maybe they're making a return. I don't know. I feel like it's got to be one of the two. It's got to be Viking Raiders or it's got to be Lucha Bros. I'm hoping it's Lucha Bros, but where do they fit in? I can't even imagine where they would even put them. I should mention Damage Control ends up being Unholy Union. Unholy Union are nice. They're a good tag team, but Damage Control is obviously the stars here. Like, there's a plan for these two. I wouldn't even be surprised if they end up taking those titles away from Jade and Bianca, but I don't know. I'm not 100% on that yet. We got our boy Braun Breaker cutting a promo backstage. Our boy, our hero, our Intercontinental Champion, and Joe Tessitore kept mentioning that it'll only be the second title defense of Braun Breaker's young, impressive career. And I'm like, man, the hype that Joe is doing right now is getting me a little worried. Not only that, Breaker's promo, he says it's game day. There's going to be a winner and there's going to be a loser. And there's going to be someone who gets their ass kicked, and it's not going to be him. And then he says something that really troubled me. Braun Breaker said, first of all, let me say that he told Jay in this promo that maybe in a couple months, when Jay works his way back up, he'll give him another chance. But then this is when he says what really troubled me. He said that he's going to hold that title for a long time. And I'm like, that whole promo had the makings of like a very cocky, overconfident heel champion that just knows he's going to win tonight, but he ends up losing. It made me feel like he was going to lose. This backstage vignette or promo, I love Breaker. Of course we do. We glaze the man here on Wicked Bitter. But just that promo, I've seen wrestling too much to know that when somebody cuts a promo like that, they're losing. When they use those words, they're losing. When the announcer specifically emphasizes on one or two things, they're losing. So did not make me feel good going into that main event. We get that sign cam again. We saw this on SmackDown. We get it on Raw. I hope they keep this. I like this. I hope it also encourages people to start bringing more signs to the show. I love it. I'm all for this. I think there is a place for it on the show. We definitely need more signs at shows to bring back like the Attitude Era type feels when it comes to signs. Very cool. I very much enjoy seeing that sign cam now for 2 weeks in a row. New Day versus American Made. It was a good match. But at some point there, Chad Gable gets involved. He kind of tries to distract Woods. Woods ends up bringing him in the ring. And then while Gable is not even technically in the match, Woods goes and attacks Gable. He starts punching at him. Kingston ends up getting in the ring. The Creed brothers eliminate Kofi from the ring. And then they double-team Woods. And then the American Made get the win. I thought that was kind of shocking. I didn't think New Day would be losing like this. But hey, it's all part of the plan. Let's see where they go with this New Day thing. I think it's going to be good. I should mention there was a little backstage vignette. Damian Priest talking about Finn Balor. He mentions that Finn Balor on camera was the happiest for Priest, but behind the scenes, Finn Balor was the most bitter and angry, upset and jealous of Priest. And your typical standard stuff. He basically ends up saying that he's going to beat Balor at Bad Blood. He says some stuff in Spanish that I don't know what he said, but I'm assuming. I heard corazón, so I know he's talking about a heart. Maybe he's talking about how he's going to rip Finn's heart out. Maybe my Spanish-speaking friends here could let me know what he said at the end there. I'm guessing it has something to do with that, but or he's going to stomp on his heart, something. I don't know. Either way, Priest says he's going to beat Balor at Bad Blood, and I kind of believe him, although I really wish Balor would win that one. We get another, this is like the second week in a row now, we get another QR code from the Wyatt family, the Wyatt Six. I can't go into everything that it gave us. I mean, it led me to a website that had multiple pictures, multiple links. I'm sure there's going to be people out there who break down all of it step by step, image by image. But there was one link that I clicked that led me to like a 3-minute video. And in that video, it had a bunch of like tips on how to avoid a massacre. And I think the title of it was saying preparing for a massacre. So a lot of these similar things like we saw. And then there was like a day of reckoning is upon us. So it's the same type of thing we saw right before they debuted and just demolished a bunch of people. So I'm wondering if this is going to be the same type of thing. Are the Wyatts telling us that there's going to be another massacre? And if there is, who's it going to be? That's the most interesting part. Right now, early contenders, I'm thinking Judgment Day. After maybe Bad Blood is done and they move on from Rhea and Priest, maybe they go after Judgment Day. I don't know yet on that. I'm not sure. New Day's got to be in there at some point. Strowman, Jey Uso, I feel like they all got to be in there for the Wyatts' targets. I found this to be hilarious. I saw one of the most funniest backstage little vignettes that they aired. It's the Pure Fusion Collective, PFC, whatever you want to call them, all talking to the screen, and Sonya has the gall to say that there's so many women teams and factions in WWE, and it's just comprised of women who are losers who seek out other losers so they can lose together. And I'm thinking, isn't that what the PFC is? Like, you are literally what you're just saying everyone else is. You took 3 people who are normally losers in WWE, and you put them together just so they can lose. That vignette was the funniest, dumbest thing I think I've ever seen. It made no sense. Shoot your shot. What are we doing? Then we saw a cool thing backstage here. LWO comes up to the New Day, and Ray is just like, hey, I just want to clarify, I just want to say my bad about last week. I was asked to do something. We did it. I didn't want to, overstep any boundaries or whatever. And then Woods comes back at Ray super aggressive. Like, he's like, mentions, you should have taken this initiative with Dom or something. I don't even know. Like, he just unloaded on Ray. And then Ray was just like, hey, man, no, don't worry about it. I got to face Finn Balor next week. I'm not even going to worry about it. I don't need this right now. And then Woods gets defensive again. It's like, oh, because you're a former world champion, you don't have time for guys like me, somebody who's never won one. And then Kingston's like, hey, man, calm down. We don't have to do this. And then Woods snaps at Kofi. Like, whoa, look at, now you're coming in on this. Another former world heavyweight champion. And then it's basically Woods is feeling the pressure because he's never won a singles championship. He's never been a world champion before. I'm all for this. I like this. I still am sticking with my guns here. I think Kofi's going to be the one that turns. But I do like this little chip on his shoulder from Woods here, the motivation. He mentioned earlier that they got to get more serious in their matches. None of this goofy stuff. And I like it. I like it a lot. It's going to be a different chapter here for Woods and Kingston. But I want to see Woods as the babyface in this rivalry. Main event time, friends. Disappointing. Upset. Let down. All things that you could say that are emotions I felt. Our guy, man, Braun Breaker, the man we glaze here on Wicked Bitter. I had a feeling it was coming because of all the signs that happened earlier in the show. Tessitore emphasizing it's his second title defense, and he mentioned that Jey Uso's had like 6 opportunities to win this damn thing, and he hasn't. And I'm like, wow, that many times? He's surely not going to lose again. I just felt like everything was just pointing in the direction of Jey Uso beating Braun Breaker for this Intercontinental Championship, and that's exactly what happened. Little upset, bummed out about it, but hey, I love Jey Uso. Braun Breaker has a great future ahead of him. He's already main eventing Raws. I'm not worried about Braun Breaker at all. I hope nobody uses the term buried after this. Braun Breaker is going to be absolutely fine. I have no doubt about it. He will probably win that championship back again at some point, whether it's from beating Jey Uso or somebody else who has it. I know it's going to happen. I think only good things are in store for Braun Breaker. We glaze him. We love him. But that short title defense just came to an end. All right, my friends, that's all for tonight. I appreciate you checking out this video. Please like it if you haven't yet. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Comment, please. Leave the comments. I love them. I don't want to be just making a video for me just talking to myself. I want to hear from you. So please leave a comment. Definitely like the video. Share the video. Let's get it out to other people who are not subscribed to this channel so we can bring more people in. I have exciting news. We have passed the 1,500 subscriber threshold. That was my goal, to get there by the end of the year, and we're already here. See, I knew we could do this. And we're only getting bigger and better here at Wicked Bitter. And now the next step is 2,000 subscribers. If we get to that, I'm thinking of giving away 1 or 2 things to a couple of subscribers. I'm just saying, it's time for me. I'm going to give back. I'm always going to try to give back. So, I appreciate it, guys. Have a good rest of your week. We will be out with more videos, so pay attention to the channel for that. Until we meet again, my friends, as always, stay bitter.